Hey troops, it's Roy for the Geeks Adventures. Woo! Bringing another toy review today. This time, it is the McFarlane Toys Deluxe She Spawn. Yeah! Slowly but surely, as McFarlane Toys is paying for more and more of its license and getting more profits from the 5 billion Batman figures it keeps pounding out. The Spawn line continues to grow slowly but surely, and the second deluxe figure has been released. This time it is She Spawn. Now, normally I show you the box, but I was a dork, and in the midst of transporting and yada yada, I got rid of the box. So I just got the figure with most of the accessories. Oops. Sorry. But anyway, the box is, it's about the same size as the deluxe Spawn box because, hey, you get the idea. Anyway, but let's look at the figure, all right? And there she is in all of her well-sculpted, very well-articulated glory. Huge mane of red hair. Lots of amazing. The hallmark of the McFarlane figures is the multitude of details on the sculpt. I mean, you got even little, like you got spikes on the boots. Then you got the gauntlets. It's a beautifully done figure. I mean, you got the ammunition belt on the shoulder strap. It's a beautiful figure. It is very, very well done. Now you're wondering, okay, so why the heck am I paying basically $40 retail for a deluxe figure? Well, she comes with a lot of stuff. Usually the accessories with the figure, usually you get one weapon and some extra hands. Well, here's one of the weapons. Little sword, also well done. Little spikes. You get another hand weapon. This giant quarter staff thing with weight and blade. You get not one, not two, but 3 guns. All of them very well sculpted and made. Look at this. This incredibly fanciful giant. It's like, was it that the 50 cal Barrett sniper rifle? The one that's the size of a person that can take out an engine block. Beautifully made. Now, the figure also came with one extra hand and a chain that also went with the box. Sorry. Now, one of the interesting things that happens with figures like this is that, you get all these fancy weapons. How do they hold? Because that's always the challenge. It's all great. You've got 87 points of articulation, but if they're not designed to actually hold the weapon, what's the point? Okay. The bad news is that it is not the figure does not exactly hold these weapons in a perfect, rifle pose or anything like that. Although if you had the extra hand, that would probably help a little bit. But the good news is that overall, the figure does a dang good job in general of holding the weapons. Here she is, holding this giant 50 caliber rifle. And now the hair, you can tell it's humongous size, but was sculpted, and the way it's sweeping this way is actually not just for cosmetic purposes. It's also so that you can kind of sweep the head back so that she can actually be in almost like a holding pose to hold the weapon. Isn't that cool? Like I said, it's not a perfect rifle firing pose, but compared to what the other things you get stuck with when it comes to figures and how they pose things, so on and so forth, it's a good compromise. The smaller assault rifle, of course, does it quite easily. Then, of course, you got this giant Uber cannon thing that looks like something out of Cable's armory. I mean, you got this stock here, this stock here. This one here, I don't know how she's supposed to hold a weapon like this, but it works well with holding from this point and from this point actually. But I like putting it in this position here, and just takes a moment. And like I said, you see, she holds it pretty well. It's not. Like I said, it's not the ideal position, but overall, cool. And of course, like every other McFarlane figure, the articulation is just, you got double jointed knees, double jointed elbows, which are ideal considering the weapon configurations you're looking at. And she easily holds both hand weapons quite well. And so you've got a multitude of posing options, or you just happen to pose it with an adversary figure and they start to go pew 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 pew. You get the idea. So what's the final word? It is a beautiful piece of work. Frankly, though, the question becomes, what price point are you willing to go for? Like I said, the retail on this is like about $40. So the question becomes, is this worth the $20 extra? Or, do you have enough spare weapons from other figures that you're like, no, I ain't doing it. So that, unfortunately, that's what it kind of comes down to. Personally, the figure, it's a beautiful piece of work. As I've mentioned with other figures, it highlights all the things that McFarlane does very well. Great articulation, the sculpting is beautiful. The paint, everyone has lots of opinions on the paint. I'm cool with the paint. And also, and I guess that there's something else I should mention, especially when it comes to the paint. It's McFarlane is trying to ride this compromise between figures that are not a crazy price point like Mafex or Kotobukiya from Japan, but nonetheless have lots of really good craftsmanship, lots of really cool stuff. So you find points here and there to try and kind of shave off some cost, but at the same time highlighting things that collectors are really looking for. So, and it's your call. If you're okay spending extra, it's a really cool piece. There's so much stuff. Rambo is envious right now. Deadpool and Cable are going, we don't get that kind of rifle. So it's something to consider. So there you go. Personally, I have no regrets. I love it. And if you considering way prices are right now, if you want to kind of hold back, something they want to hold back, keep your eyes open on the secondary market, see if someone's trying to blow these out. But yeah, it's a good piece of work. It's a beautiful piece of work. So there you go. Hey, y'all have a good weekend. May the force be with you. May the odds be in your favor, especially when you're trying to find bargains. And as always, be good to each other, okay, peeps? Y'all take care. Peace. Bye.